Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is the Rebirth Era with your girl Chantel. And today I'm going to be talking about nature and how it's medicine, just kind of exactly what it sounds like. But first and foremost, I want to say happy Earth Day to all my earth beings. This is our home. This is where we come from. So we need to take care of her, love her, cherish her, all the things, right? So when it comes to, I have my book here, so if I'm looking down, that's what I'm looking at. So yeah, when it comes to Earth Day, it's not something I celebrate on just this one day. However, I did get this pretty cool t-shirt from Aldi, and it's kind of like, well, why not, right? And then also I pretty much celebrate the earth every day. Like, I love being outside, I love going for walks, I love hiking, I love kayaking, swimming, and going to the beach, and just being outside not naked. Being outside barefoot. But yes, I love the earth. I love nature, Mama Nature. Like, she provides for us, she takes care of us, she nurtures us, loves us, all the things. So just a quick life update. If you've seen on my Instagram, Reborn in Motherhood, I have reached a milestone in my own personal weight loss, weight release journey of 50 pounds down from my highest weight. So yay for that. I'm not going too deep into that journey as of yet, just because right now my journey for me is very personal, very sacred, and I'm just honoring this time of transformation. However, as I get a little further along, I'll definitely be opening up more on that physical journey. But for now, we'll focus on the spiritual and all the other things that are very much encompassed within this weight release and mindset and all that good stuff. So, saying all that to say, let's just go ahead and get into the video. As someone who deals with anxiety, and just I sometimes I just be doing too much. I do the most, and a lot of it is inside of my head. My mind is always going, and it's anxiety, right? Getting out in nature is like the least expensive way. It's the cheapest way to manage said anxiety and to reset and reconnect with myself. So when I'm out in nature, of course I do have technology with me. I have my phone and things like that, but I'm using it more so to capture the present, as opposed to getting lost in other people's journeys and lives and all that stuff. So I'll capture the trees, or how, the trees are flowing, or what bird is passing, or what it exactly is that I'm doing, or we're doing in the moment. And it's just, when you're looking at, okay, the trees, the grass, the fruit, or the flowers, or things like that, that's actually a technique to ground yourself and be present in the moment. And so when you're away from that technology, you're away from all the things of your normal everyday life, this is a great way to learn how to be present, to calm down, to connect, and just reconnect with yourself. So nature is real cheap therapy, and if you haven't tried it, I highly suggest you do. You can ground, even in your own backyard, or if you're in an apartment and they have a lawn or something somewhere, or you can just go to a park and just take your shoes off and walk around in the grass. Make sure you ain't stepping on no ants, because they will bite you. But just walk around in the grass, and you have an energetic frequency, the earth has an energetic frequency, so you guys can kind of reconnect with each other and feel a lot more calm and more grounded. Now, there is research that has emerged about that, and it's easily accessible through Professor Google. But yes, grounding is a great way to reconnect with your surroundings. And like I said, did I mention it's free? For the most part, unless you're going to the state parks or something like that, then yeah, you might have to pay a small fee, but that's just to help manage that state park, keep it beautiful, keep, things flowing like how it should be. So in the past couple of weeks, we have reconnected with nature in a couple different ways. And the first is we went kayaking in Winter Park. And when I tell you, this was probably the most beautiful kayak trip that I have done thus far, because we've mostly done lakes, and we did do one shore thing in South Florida, but we did just recently get the kayak, so that has been part of our adventures and ways to just get out, because once we have it now, going into the water is free. So we were in, I think it was Lake Osceola, and it was in Winter Park area. So if you just Google kayaking Winter Park, and I think it was called Dinky Dock Park, something like that. That's where we got in the water at, and we went through 2 canals. We kayaked all the way to like this big lake that had like a little island in the middle that you can actually get out and walk around. The island itself was super cute. Like, it wasn't huge, it was just, you know, a couple steps and you're on the other side of it, but it was kayaking with a destination in mind. So you got out at the island, walked around, stretched your legs, maybe had a snack or two, and then made your way back to Dinky Dock Park. So that was super grounding. Like, as a Pisces woman, as a watery woman, I love being in water. I love swimming, I love being submerged, and I just love being surrounded by water, because you can see lots of cool things. Like, I didn't get footage of it, but we saw a osprey, and we actually saw it fly back to its nest. And so, like, we were this close to the nest. Like, there was a tree in the middle of the lake, and at the top is where the osprey nest was. I've never seen nothing like that before, and that was just really cool to experience and see the little osprey babies beep, 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 like poking up looking for their mama and stuff like that, like, mama, I'm hungry, kind of thing, you know, like my toddler. So but yeah, that was a really, really cool experience, seeing all the beautiful houses around. And you know, we love to visualize, to dream, and we aim to one day have our own beautiful home that we own and things like that. So it was definitely a grounding, spiritual visualization experience. So I'd highly recommend, if you're not afraid of water, or even if you are, just wear a life vest. I mean, we still have life vests on even though we're good swimmers, just because Florida gators, possible, whatever, but we didn't see any. But it was definitely a great experience. I highly recommend it. So yeah, that was amazing. Kayaking is a great way to kind of actively rest. It was a 4.5 mile journey, so it was a little arm heavy with the paddling, but we weren't paddling for speed. We were just paddling to enjoy the journey and then eventually get to the destination. We weren't on a time limit or anything like that, so it was definitely more of an active rest. My arms were a little sore the next day, but nothing too crazy, like I did a crazy arm workout. It was just, you know, a little bit of like, okay, we've never really went this far before. So I look forward to many more kayaking trips, and some that are even longer, and then eventually we do want to like kayak to a campsite and then camp out and then kayak back to, you know, where our car is and stuff like that. So like a kayak camping trip. So, but yeah, get out in nature, folks. It really is medicine. It's the like most inexpensive way to just disconnect and ground, because we've made a very busy, very hustle type world and no flow. There's no flow, there's no relaxation, there's no rest. It's just go, and especially if you live in the United States, it's go, work, do, be productive, and nature is totally the opposite. Like, animals only go fast when they're either A, running from like a predator, or B, a predator is chasing their prey. Otherwise, they be chilling, taking naps and stuff. So yeah, take notes from nature, right? So another adventure that we went on is we went to a U-pick farm. It's called, don't let me mess this up, Southern Hills Farm. It's in Claremont, Florida, and they have U-pick peaches, blueberries, blackberries, but we mostly just did the peaches and the blueberries. So it was a wonderful, like, this one was not free, so this one was a paid experience. However, it is free to park, it is free to go into the space, but if you do want to do the U-pick experiences, then you do pay per pound of fruit that you pick. So it could technically be free, but it's, you know, they're offering a really good service, and it's not expensive or anything like that. And it's just a great way to kind of connect with the food that you're consuming. So we got to pick our own peaches. So each peach wasn't grown by us, but it was hand picked and hand selected by us. And then each blueberry, like, just even watching my toddler, because he couldn't really pick the peaches because they were high up in the tree, And by the time we got there, we kind of got the last bit of semi-ripe ones. But with the blueberries, they were all on his level. So once we showed him, and my husband showed him, like, hey, pick the blue ones, make sure, you know, that they look good and stuff like that. He'd be like, oh, this is a big one. This is a big. So he was just going and picking them, and he loved it. He loved the experience. He loved holding the little bucket. And like, my son loves being outside. My husband loves being outside. Like, we are really just a nature forward family. So like, when we get lost in the hustle and flow, like, we get sad and just disconnected and highly unhappy. So we have to do things that take us out of that hustle and reconnect with ourselves and just reconnect with nature. So it was beautiful. The peaches were delicious. The blueberries were delicious. They were just so sweet and like tart, and just like unlike anything that you get in the grocery store. But they also had like blueberry dishes. So they had blueberry muffins, blueberry donuts. I'll tell you about that. Them blueberry donuts were so good. Like, they have nothing on Dunkin' Donuts blueberry donuts. And they're like a good little size. So, and they give them to you kind of warm with the glaze on top. You could use glaze or sugar. I'm not going too far into the donuts. You gotta try it for yourself. They were delicious. Highly recommend. There was also blueberry cobbler. We didn't try the muffins, but we did try the cobbler and the donuts, and the cobbler was delicious. But there are like other food trucks, and even at that time they had like a kid play area, like carnival rides-ish kind of thing. We didn't go to that side. We more so stuck to the U-Pick and just being outside and in the grass and in nature, and, you know, letting the kid stretch his feet and run around and stuff. So it was a wonderful experience, and we definitely look forward to going again for that specifically next year. And then looking on their website, it looks like they also have a fall festival and things like that. So they do close, I think, for the summer, and then they reopen in the fall, because let's be real, Florida summer, too hot to be outside. So we look forward to going back for the fall festival and stuff. And just Claremont itself is super beautiful hills, and like, it just, they stretch for miles. And so if you've never been, I highly definitely recommend engaging in that experience. Oh, and I did forget to mention, with the Winter Park experience, if you get there, I think for a certain time, you don't have to bring your own kayak. We just have our own, so we weren't really looking for kayak rental rates or anything. They did have rentals there for people to use for a certain amount of time, so that if that's something that you would need because you don't have a watercraft, or there were people paddleboarding too. Yeah, paddleboard is not really my speed. I ain't trying to stand up the whole time, so, or be on my knees. Like, my legs will go to sleep. So, but yeah, kayaking, so much fun. They have rentals. Look into it if you want to go. So, but yeah, this is like some of the things that we do. We go for walks, you know. I call them walks here in Florida, because it's like, once you've actually hiked like in North Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina, where you're going up an incline and climbing to like the top of a mountain or something like that, to me that's an actual hike. But here, the paths and things in the trails, those are walks. So I call them walks. So just in case, just for future reference. So yeah, we love going on walks, just being outside. Kid loves going to the parks, to the playground, just running around, being with other kids outside in the sun, cackling, having popsicles, all the good things. So it's definitely very healing. It allows you to come home to yourself because the distractions are removed. And also just hearing the sounds of nature, it kind of like, it reprograms your brain and turns on the waves that are for relaxation. And so just getting into nature more will definitely help your journey. So like, your rebirth can be as simple as like just going for a walk in nature. It can be as simple as just standing outside for 5 minutes without your shoes on in the grass. It's the little things that add up, and just they build and build and build to the bigger thing. So don't get overwhelmed. But I want you guys to tell me in the comments, like, number one, what are some ways that you like connecting with nature? Because how you do things may be different than what I do, and I might be inspired by your own journey. And secondly, if there's any more content that you'd love to see from me, any specific topics or anything like that, feel free to drop a comment. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much for being with me on this journey and watching this video, and I hope this edifies your soul. Thank you so much, and I hope you all have an amazing day.